So my husband does work for that big mobile home company. But one of the perks there that they give us is they send us on these trips, unbelievable trips, all over the world. But sometimes it'll be like Alaska, somewhere like that. Sometimes it's been overseas. But say, for instance, Alaska, we sign up for excursions before we go. My husband signed us up to go on a float plane to see a glacier. And we walk up to this dock, and there's this little float plane floating in the water. And they line us up on this dock, and this little crusty man with a pack of Marlboro Reds comes up to me and says, "What do you weigh?" And I lied. And I watched 9 more people. He has 9 more people, and I watched them all lie. And I thought, oh my Lord, we're going to go down. Okay, here's something that's different. Now that they're having little children, so different than when I had mine. There was a book that I read in and out. And I bet a bunch of y'all that are my age read this one too. What to Expect When You're Expecting. Yeah, it was a hateful book. It was a hateful book. But it was true. And they would say things to you like, you're going to have a hemorrhoid in the 7th month on the 4th day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And you'll be like, okay, let me tell y'all about these precious children that I got to have. I had 3. I begged their daddy for a 4th baby. We were living in San Antonio, and my baby child went to kindergarten. And that was going to be the first time I was going to be by myself from 8 to 3 all day long. And I nearly grieved myself to death. And I thought, Lord, what am I going to do with all this time on my hands? I hope I don't get hooked on whiskey and start honky-tonking. And about 3 weeks in the kindergarten, I was like, woohoo, woohoo. Now I can go get a pap smear without somebody sitting on my head. My husband is very smart, does very well. He is a nice-looking man, but he has a receding hairline, and he hates it. I think it's handsome, but he hates it. So I said, why don't I take you to my hairdresser, and we'll get her to buzz you one of those haircuts real close to your head, like Justin Timberlake. Well, we did it, and we didn't know his head was pointed. And he said, I look like somebody, and I can't quite think of who it is. And I said, is it Bull on Night Court? He said, no. That's not who I was thinking about. And about 3 days later, he said, I know who it is. It's that lazy starfish Patrick on SpongeBob Christmas.